Hey guys, so today we're going to be quickly going over Ultra Fusion Zamasu's kit. We talked about in depth what he does yesterday, so take a look at that if you want like an in-depth breakdown of the character. Just going to quickly go through some of the highlights here. Is a purple melee type. We get a look at his stats here. I assume he's going to be essentially mostly just strike base. We'll see. Yeah, actually the stats are not that crazy. He's going to be under 260 to main offense as an Ultra. It's not that high. His blast is actually not that much different. I thought he would have like... This is one of those characters where I was going to like assume he would have like a 20,000 difference in his offenses, but it's only 8,000. It's not that bad, actually. Defenses look good. Defenses are pretty solid. In fact, I think probably this guy is going to be better defensively than offensively, I think, is actually what's going to be the case here. He holds a, what is this? Enemy health restoration minus 40% on hit. 15 counts. Actually not bad. High area only. Okay. Blast is nothing special. The good thing about Fusion Zamasu characters is they are all on a lot of teams. God Key, Future, Regen, Fusion Warrior, Powerful Opponent, like all actual teams. He does have feint on his strike cards, 5% chance to just feint the opponent, which is obviously going to be pretty annoying. The blue card gives the opponent heavy bleed, strong poison, actually destroys a Dragon Ball twice when you use the blue, so even if you miss this, it's still going to destroy a Dragon Ball. His green is pretty solid. He draws a green with his main ability. This is not like an insane green, it's just like okay. 50 key, 30% damage, gets card protection for 5 counts. He's drawing a strike, and he gets covered all in this. It's comboable to melee green. The ultimate is a callback to the original red corrupted Fusion Zamasu. His ultimate prevents all enemy switching when he lands it. So you land this ultimate, you destroy their entire hand, you don't allow them to switch, you follow up with like a tackle or something, and then you rush. That's basically what they want you to do with this. Now, the other thing to mention about this character quickly is his unique gauge is essentially, the way I'm understanding this, is it is very similar. In fact, it's probably just the exact same gauge as Ultra Beast Gohan. So he has the ability to counter forward charging ultimates and rising rushes when the gauge is the counter type here. By the way, I did actually check in-game. Auto counter type B is the same type of counter as Beast Gohan. So it's not going to activate when you're like in the middle of an attack. If you're sidestepping, it actually will work. But it's like if you're in the middle of an attack, it will not activate. So you can't like go for a strike card and then the opponent like can still rush you, right? You're not going to be able to counter a rush if you're in the middle of using an attack with this character. So again, it is literally the same thing as Ultra Beast Gohan. So that's good to note. I think that's much healthier if it was like that. If this gauge worked like Majin Vegeta's gauge, where you could be doing anything and it would still work against a rush, like that would be so annoying. But then he also has the ability to refill the gauge when it becomes a time type. So again, this is something that I'm gonna have to just test out for myself and see how this works. But you can use the counter and then you can fill the gauge up again, and I assume counter again. Okay, so yeah, I mean, we'll just see how it works, I guess. I don't know. It might be the case where like you counter and then the time type gauge just like activates this part of it, I guess, is what it might be, right? Maybe you can only do one counter, I guess, right? And then once you use the counter, it becomes the time type, but then like the time type gauge doesn't let you counter again. I think it might be that way. We'll see. There's a few things I want to point out with this character. So yeah, we talked about the auto counter type B gauge being the same as Ultra Beast Gohan. The second part of this is this guy has a very targeted kind of like anti-lock-in ability. Where is this? Yeah, here we go. When on battlefield, an ally is prevented from switching 2 times, seals enemy strike, blast, or special move arts 3 counts. So that's clearly targeted towards Namek Goku. They did not want this character to be locked in by Namek Goku and filleted by Namek Goku, just utterly incinerated by Namek Goku every single time. So that's why they gave him the anti-locking abilities there. This is fine. I've seen some people mention that, Namek Goku could just rush this guy, and I think that's, that's where the unique gauge comes in, right? Because if Namek Goku rushes Zamasu, he's going to just simply counter the rush. So I don't think this needs to be like sealing rushes or anything like that. The area where this could be a problem is the bottom part. While not defeated, an enemy activates Ultimate, Awakened Arts, or Rising Rush, he's going to reduce his own subcount by 10 and cancels enemies' buff effects once. The way this is designed is, again, literally the same thing as Ultra Beast Gohan, where if the enemy goes for a rush, well, this guy can't swap in, he's going to reduce his own subcounts and allow himself to swap in right away so he can counter the rush. The problem with this is if Namek Goku locks in someone else. So if you're switched in with, like, I don't know, Ultra Full Power Frieza, and Namek Goku locks in Full Power Frieza and goes for the rush, you then can't obviously switch to this guy because you're locked in. This is why I think Android 13 is going to be a very, very powerful ally to use against, use alongside this guy. Remember, Android 13 against no switching seals rushes. So if you're switched in with like Android 13 or Full Power Frieza or Ultra Cell or whatever, and you have Android 13 and this Zamasu on the team, even though an ally is going to be locked in so that this guy can't come in against the rush, Android 13 is going to be sealing Namek Goku's rush when he locks you in regardless. So 13 is going to be a pretty strong ally with this guy, of course, on top of the fact that he's also supporting a ton. I think it's just going to be important to remember. There's one thing I do want to quickly mention, actually, with this guy, and it is in reference to this character. Remember, this guy with his unique gauge up, nullify combo breaking actions when he has his unique gauge. I'm not 100% sure how this works. I am assuming that is classified as a buff effect because it's the same type of ability as like Cover Null or Endurance Nullification, where it's cancelable when buff effects are removed. So I think the way this would work is even if that Vegeta has his combo breaking action buff effect active, this guy should be able to simply remove the buff effect. So if you go in with Vegeta, you have his unique gauge up, and you try and like go for a rush thinking that this guy won't be able to counter you, this guy should still be able to swap in and counter that Vegeta because he does have the buff effect removal. But that only is applicable once, right? So that's just something to remember. So if you use, for example, let's just say you're running Namek Goku and Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta together. You use Namek Goku's ultimate, and then after you've used Namek Goku's ultimate, you've already removed Zamasu's buff effect cancellation, the one-time cancellation. From that point forward, when you get your unique gauge up with Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, even if Zamasu is swapped in, Vegeta should be able to simply rush this character because of that. So that is something to just remember, because I think that's gonna I think that's something that's gonna catch a lot of people off guard. So that's something to just keep in mind. But this guy looks very good. This is one of those characters where I just want to see how he looks in practice because he seems pretty strong. But this is an example of a character where he doesn't seem like he's going to break the game. I guess one last thing to quickly mention before we move on is the final counter. He has like an AoE death effect that's similar to the purple Super Saiyan 3 Goku that we got a month and a half ago or so. The difference is this guy has AoE paralysis. So it's basically Majin Doo is the best way I could, I guess, equate this. Remember, when Majin Doo has his endurance popped, he just afflicts the entire enemy team with paralysis. That's essentially what this is, but this guy's got to die for that to activate. So yeah, we'll see. All right, we should have some new equips. I know we at least are getting the unique equip for LF Fusion Zamasu. There's going to be a new unique equip to coincide with the release of this Ultra character. And I think there should be a new PvP equip, and that's it, because co-op doesn't reset until next week, and Rush doesn't reset until next week. So let's take a look here and see what we have. Wait. Huh? What are those? Okay, this is the PvP equip. I guess we'll look at this first. Powerful opponent, 12% health restoration, 10% health, 15% base strike attack, 10% to pure strike and blast if this character is tag God Key. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Powerful opponent. Powerful opponent God Key, so like Beerus, I guess. Is Beerus on powerful opponent? I actually don't even know. He's got to be, right? Like movie Beerus. But yeah, obviously this is good. If you can get all the conditions on this. What are these? What is this? Future? 15% strike defense, 15% blast defense, 25% strike attack, 25% blast attack. What the hell is this? Okay. Sure. I mean, it's not great. It's not bad. Okay. What's this? This is just for Zamasu. Okay. This is not the equip that's coming out for the Ultra. 20% base defenses, 20% base offenses, and 10% special move damage. Yeah, that's pretty good. This is like a way, way, way worse version of that Majin Buu Saga equip. That for some reason has 15% HP on it. Again, this is not bad, but it's not like insane. I'm not really sure what these are. Okay. All right, and then we should have the unique equip for Red Zamasu. Oh yeah, 21's equip. Is that today? Huh. I shouldn't even think about that being... Dude, there's so many equips. What the... Dude, I have no equipment space. I have no space left. What is this? Future purple. 10% health, 12% to special move damage, ultimate damage, and 36% to base strike attack. Yes, solid. Again, it's not like broken. Yeah, this is definitely usable on Zamasu. I'll do an equipment guide video for Zamasu. This is pretty solid, actually. Is that it? We don't have like an awakened one, right? Yeah. Sometimes they put these in like a week in advance, so I always like to check. All right, we'll come back to the Zamasu one, the LF Zamasu one last. 21. So I guess this is today, huh? All right. 20% health, 90% strike attack, 110% blast attack, 100% base defenses. Okay. 150% inflicted damage, 100% damage guard, 50% to key recovery, restores own health by 10% when this character enters the battlefield. So, seems like they're just going with that for like most of these equips. Like, they all have like kind of the same effects on them. That's a lot of stats. It's a lot of stats. On battlefield entry, the following effects occur. Cover null for 5 counts, key plus 70. On cover change, enemy key minus 50. When not defeated, an enemy activates Rising Rush, cancel enemy's buff effects 1 time. That's really good because this character has a cover rescue, which is the LF Majin Buu Saga Green Super Saiyan 3 Goku ability. It's Green IT Goku's ability. It's LF Yellow Super Saiyan 4 Goku's ability. It's Yellow Perfect Cell's ability. Really powerful. Because if you can remove the opponent's cover null, you can just simply not get rushed, right? So that's solid. Not going to be very good against locking in Namek Goku, but yeah, I mean, this character's probably just too old to see play, I think. But we'll see. I don't remember what this character's stats look like, and I don't have her pulled up because I thought this was going to be next week actually, but okay. Yeah, it's a lot of stats. It's a lot. And then this is solid too. Okay. All right. Let's take a look. Red Zamasu. So the biggest thing they could possibly do for this character, the number one thing, and I don't think have they ever done this before? I don't think so. They would need to give him endurance. I don't think they've ever done that. Unless I'm just forgetting an instance where they did. That would be the biggest thing they could do for this guy. But let's see. I don't think they're going to do that. This is for Red Fusion Zamasu. He supposedly was really good on release, I was told. All right. 20% health, 50% base defenses, 90% damage guard. Yeah, guys, he was so good. 90% damage guard. All right. 70% damage, 50% base offenses. When hit by enemies' arts, if own health is 50% or lower, restores own health by 20% once. That's pretty good. It's going to allow him to leverage the defensive part of his gauge better. 90% damage card. Okay. All right, slot 3. On battlefield entry, the following effects occur. Draws 1 card. That's good. Cover null for 5 counts. That's big. Previously, the way this guy got cover null was by either filling the... well, you would have to have the gauge filled up and then use a card, or he would have to swap between being a defense style gauge to offense style to get cover null. Now he just gets cover null on entry, which is very good. When sustained damage type unique gauge is consumed, ally subcounts -3. That's actually really good. On special arts use, if unique gauge's attack type nullify attribute downgrades, that's also very good. So much debuffing going on right now. It's probably good enough. Again, the only problem is though, like, because we're trying to build a future team, right? Right now, you have two runnable future characters, kind of, right? This guy and then the Ultra character. You probably can run the green Zenkai, Zamasu, and Gogo. Like, they're actually better than I thought they were going to be, but they're not great. And the problem with that team is there is no second life character. You could definitely make the argument that you don't really need one as badly just because the Ultra has the Rising Rush counter mechanic. But for all intents and purposes, you still want a second life character. So we're just waiting for the next future character to drop. Future Gohan Zenkai, LF Future Gohan Zenkai would be very, very good right now. But this is probably good enough, yeah. I mean, they just gave him so many stats. Dude, I did not think they were going to give him 90% damage guard. 90? Okay, that's a lot. And then 70% damage is also a lot, too. All right, yeah, this is looking good. This is looking good here. I'm not sure what these two equips on the top are for. It might be something similar to like the when we had the Android campaign, the Red Ribbon Army campaign, when we had it was like the Dr. Giro event where you had to exchange like those Android parts, the upgrade parts for equips. That might be what this is. I don't know. Again, this one to me doesn't seem insane. This one to me is probably a little bit better than the other one, but this also doesn't seem insane to me. This is only for Zamasu's. Again, it is solid, but nothing crazy. So there we go. That is this update. The Android 21 equip, I actually have no, I have no idea. I have no clue. I would definitely wait. I mean, we are getting a mega bonanza today, which is definitely going to help. But if you're somebody who's like, should I waste resources on even trying to farm this? Definitely wait for the showcase until you decide to do that, because again, this could not be good enough. It might be good enough. I don't know, but we'll see. I don't like if they're giving Zenkai Green 21 100% damage guard, and they're giving Red Zamasu 90% damage guard. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that I don't think 100% damage guard on this is enough for Green 21. But I don't remember what she does at all. I'm gonna be honest. She's very old, so. That is it. Let me know what you guys think down below of this week's update. Actually, a lot of content. 21 equip. We have the Red Fusion Zamasu equip. Ultra Fusion Zamasu's coming out. Like, there's a lot to do, actually, today. So, hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next one.